Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to. This is not a review for a movie. This is going to be my review of the pilot that I saw last night of Black Lightning, the new CW DC show that has finally premiered, and I am so very pleased with this. I love this freaking pilot. I was very entertained from start to finish, and it does have some flaws, but I'll get to that in a minute. I just wanted to do something different tonight. Basically, I never knew about this character from DC. The same guys that did Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, etc., and all the CW shows. And I like how this is different from the other shows. Like, it's more grounded in reality. There's less cartoonish stuff. It's not. It doesn't have a. It has a few flashbacks, but they're not that many. Like an Arrow has a ton of flashbacks. This had a couple, but it's really really dark, and that's not a pun. That's this show is dark. Like, it's got some humor like here and there, and but it's mostly like gang violence and racism, which I knew that was gonna I knew that was gonna happen, because I'm like, anytime you put the word black in a freaking movie, or if it has a character that is black, there's gonna be some racial tension. That happens in almost everything. That's gonna be in Black Panther next month. But the cast, pretty well done for the most part. Cress Williams is a great Black Lightning. As he plays Jefferson Pierce. He's a school teacher. I think he's a school teacher or principal. I think he's the principal of his school. And there's gang wars between these black gangs in the area. The show reminded me of a couple of things. It reminded me of Lincoln Heights, which was a show from the 2000s that had a lot of racial tension. It also reminded me of the movies Blade, because there's an opening in a club. There's no raining blood like in Blade, but it reminded me of that because Black Lightning is kicking ass in a club just like Blade did in the first Blade movie. And also James Remar is like an older man like Whistler was in Blade. And it also reminded me of Electro from Spider-Man. This is how you do it right, Marvel. This is how you do a black character, a black actor with freaking electrical powers done the right way. Because every time Black Lightning uses his powers, his eyes turn white, and he can manipulate electricity and lights and everything. It's just like Electro. That's what it reminded me of. Jamie Foxx's Electro, but without the shitty dialogue and him acting like looking like Mr. Freeze. Yeah, here it worked because they show him using his powers before he's in the suit, and I'm like, wow, he's a badass. He's like these white. Yeah, I'm gonna say there's a lot of there's gonna be some whatchamacallit, this might be sound racist or whatever, but I'm just gonna say it plain as day. These two white cops, the first time they see Jefferson, they pull him over and they handcuff him and they try to push him onto the thing. Hey, racist white cops, what are you going to do? And then there's a second time that he walks out of the club to save his daughters from these gang members that they're trying to prostitute her around and just toss her around. I was like, there was one joke that kind of made me laugh because it's like, you stay there and stay. He says to China, this gang member, he's like, you just stand there and you stay cute. And I'm like, okay, that was kind of funny. I mean, it was meant not to be a joke, but I laughed. And yeah, he's like, these two white cops are like, they're pulling taser guns at him. And I'm not going to spoil too much. I'm just going to say a few things. I'm not going to go through any plot points or the ending. The ending, I'm not going to spoil here because that was a cliffhanger that you have to see for yourself. But they shoot him with a taser, and he just absorbs it. And he's like Electro, and he's like, bzzz, and he's like just shoots these guys into the sky. It's freaking awesome. I'm like, he like electrocutes them with his hands. I'm like, that's badass. Why didn't I know about the superhero when I was a kid? I would have loved this hero. It took DC this long to make a Black Lightning TV show, and it's well written. The show is shot very well. It looks like a CW show, but it's not a soap opera where he's dating her and she's dating him and blah 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 blah. No, they got rid of all that and they made it dead serious, but in a good way. The rest of the cast, Christine Adams is the weakest of the cast. She plays the mom. She's just there. She doesn't do anything. Uh, China is okay. I don't think, at least she's not cartoonish like in Ant Farm or in that episode of Casey Undercover, but she's all right. Like, she's grown up and She plays it. She plays it as best she could. Nafisa Williams that plays Anissa or whatever. She is absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, I like what the character that they're developing her into. The actress is really intense. She's sexy, and I'm like, yeah, this is one thing you're never gonna find in episode 9: a sexy black African American woman being tough and having a character. It's not just because she's black, she's tough. No, it's like don't you call me a bitch, and I like that. I'm like, yeah, black women don't like that. They don't like it when you call them a bitch, especially when they have like a mean streak. The rest of the cast, who was James Remar was fine. There was a black lady in the one of the teachers, I think, that was in the school or whatever. She's fine. And the rest of the cast, the villain is an albino villain that he looks like Ron Perlman if he was black. He's like really light skinned though. It's like real albino, and he's pretty intimidating. He throws a guy into like a tank full of piranhas, and he's like really intense. And he's not a cartoon. He's really intense, like the Kingpin from Daredevil. It's really well done. Like I could not be happier than this because I'm like all these CW shows have gone like way too far long. Some of them have gone cartoonish, and the acting is overacting, and there's like heroes that just don't do anything, or you have villains that are a complete joke. No, this is not a villain to be taken lightly, and I agree with the critics on this. This got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Absolutely, this is a nearly flawless show. I freaking love this show. I hope the rest of the series it goes in this tone because it works. This is not a cartoon. It is not winking at the camera. It's not breaking the fourth wall. It's not being comedic. It has some humor to lighten the mood, but it has the tone of like a Batman movie, or like Blade. Because Blade there were some jokes, but it wasn't like a comedy. This is definitely not a comedy. It's not recommended for children because they show some blood. Like there's a scene where Black Lightning, like he has a scar like on his chest or like in his stomach, and he bleeds in the shower, and he gets shot at. I mean, this is really intense stuff. And like I said, the racial tensions there. There's gang wars, and they always mention white people like, oh, they're gonna take your black ass and all. Like I'm like, I get it. I have 2 friends here on YouTube that are black, and I understand when you're someone of color, you're gonna have a target on you at all times. You're prone to racist comments and people that are prejudiced. I get it. As a person of color, I completely understand. And but it's well done. It's not preaching to you. It's not pandering. There's no gay humor in it. I'm glad this is a breath of fresh air, DC. It really is. If the rest of the Arrowverse like falls apart, at least I have this. It's separate from it. It works as a standalone show. It knows exactly what it is. It doesn't take an hour for something to happen. His powers are badass. The soundtrack, the locations, and it's a very distinct show. And it's good to have a nice see, they said that there's there's freaking progress in Disney Wars. No, this is progress. Having an African American actor that's a lead that doesn't die in the first 5 minutes is not the comic relief. Who he makes a few jokes, but it's not like he's cracking a joke every 5 minutes. And he's not Kevin Hart. Yeah, I know that has nothing to do with it, but yeah, Cress Williams is a great freaking Black Lightning. I buy him. His acting is really solid. He's believable. He's human. He doesn't act like oh, I'm big and bad. No, he didn't want to go back into crime fighting, but his character is interesting. And the suit, when they finally get the suit on, the black and blue armor, and it glows, and he has the goggles, he looks freaking awesome. I think the costume designers did a great job with that. The special effects look really good. It's well done, like it's fast paced. It doesn't take forever for something to happen. And I get the racial tension. I get it. And it's done well. And it's a breath of fresh air because every other show on the CW is just another soap opera. But at least with this, no, they said, let's get this out of here. Let's be different in a good way, not in a overly dramatic way like DC did a couple times in the last couple years. No, this isn't a This isn't a war drama. It's a crime slash action slash sci-fi drama, and it works very well. And I'm so proud of DC for doing this, and CW. I'm glad they took this show and put it on the air, because Fox passed on it. They're idiots for doing that. Because Gotham was really good, and so is this show. So 2018 is looking promising. The first show I've seen in 2018, it did not disappoint, and I'm so happy that I got to see it alone. And it's really intense, and I love that. I like that. It's a show with balls, and that's what I want. And you have beautiful girls of color, and you have a story that is really interesting. I can't wait to see more. That's what a show should do, and I'm invested. Please, people, watch this show. All the nerd packs, Anthony, Sean, Tevya, all you guys, watch this. Stream it, watch it online, just see it on demand, or watch it on cable, whatever. Just watch this. This is freaking good stuff. Josh said the show was great. It is. The pilot was awesome. Can't wait for the rest of the series. This is really good. They did their version of like Electro right. Unlike Marvel, what they did with Amazing Spider-Man 2, making him a complete joke, and also it's like their version of Blade, but in a less violent sort of way. It doesn't cut people with swords or like daggers or whatever, but it's in that vein, and I like that because Blade is a badass, and so is Black Lightning. So, hooray! We finally get a show on the CW that is not a joke, and it's pretty damn awesome, and I can't wait to see more. So, guys, watch this. It lived up to the hype when I saw the trailer last year. I'm so happy it's this good, and I would recommend it to all you guys, all my subscribers, all my followers on YouTube and on Google and on Twitter and Facebook. See Black Lightning. It is bad ass, and I can't believe I'm saying that after so many, after so many disappointments in the last 10 years. This is good stuff. And I'm glad it's not on the Disney Channel, because it would have been a joke. But thanks for watching, guys. Black Lightning is freaking awesome. I'm so glad that this was a DC show that's different. It's ballsy. It's got a really good cast for the most part. It's got action that's actually electrifying, no pun intended. And your lead is freaking awesome. And I'm glad that this show got made. Thank you, DC. Thank you, CW. Thank you, creators. You did a great job. Later.